I'm still sick, so this is gonna be terrible. Oh, it's starting. Okay. Oh, there's no banner. There's no banner. Oh, behind him. Nope. Yeah, no one knows. You haven't said anything. Oh, is it? Okay, you're really... Okay, that's fine. I wasn't expecting it right away. You said February. I don't even care who the fighter is gonna be. I just want it to be a mindfuck. I want it to blow me away. Okay. Okay. It's him. It's Sakurai. Oh shit, dude. I'm so excited. Oh, it's Fire Emblem. It's Byleth? Oh my god, it's Byleth.
The time has finally come to unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharas upon our enemies!
Oh my god, so many people are mad now. But it's Byleth, I'm okay with that.
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap? As you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be. Are you prepared to die?
It's Byleth. Oh.
I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet... there is no other choice.
Okay, that's a little disappointing.
You must join Smash.
Wow, that was... Wow, that was stupid.
Join Smash Brothers already! What in the world are you waiting for?
So joining Smash consumes even the darkness itself!
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, there are that many swordies, huh?
So you return, and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there?
Yeah.
And you wield the sword as well? What will you do?
Yeah, you also wield a sword.
Huh. So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
What? What is it? Oh. Oh, we got 3. Let's go. Wait. Oh, that's not the 3.
How is this?
I was expecting the... Byleth recruits. Byleth. This is really...
Oh.
She recruits.
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics. With Arid Fire, strike with superior reach.
That's a lot of range.
Use Amir's overwhelming power. Unleash the blinding speed of Failnaught. Along with the Sword of the Creator, each weapon matches a direction.
This is an actual Fire Emblem character with actual weapon traits. Oh my god. They made them
Your will and mine be now as one.
Fire Emblem in an actual way with like
to
the
you,
stats tree.
both sides of time are revealed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Through Smash, Show the world!
Oh, okay, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, we know what Fire Emblem Three Houses is. They made, like, the character use the Fire Emblem stats tree. Oh, that's... Okay, that's really... I'm not mad about that.
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle.
That's what I'm glad about. That looks
Fire
really
Emblem Three
interesting, and I
Houses
can't
was
wait for
released
that.
just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass, and it will also be available for purchase individually. In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry.
I can't imagine
First
this will
off,
go over
what
well.
is Fire Emblem?
A lot of people are
It's
gonna be
really hard
pissed.
to
I don't-
pronounce
I
in
don't care.
Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful. The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical
We know what
role-playing
Fire
games.
Emblem
You might
is.
be wondering what
Okay,
makes it
dude,
particularly
come on.
tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game, or in other words, a game
Nah, I
in
think
which you
I'll close
advance
it.
units across a grid and battle. When we talk about tactical games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command tanks, aircrafts, and so on. But Fire Emblem was unique because each unit was a specific character, sort of like in role-playing games. Plus, something made it stand out from other Nintendo products. Characters could permanently die. That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes. But really, if a character fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't
Can
use
we
them
stop
again.
describing Fire Emblem?
Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permanence to some degree in classic
Their
mode and
renders
what
look
have
really
you.
good.
But a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak.
Their renders look really good.
In
At
the
least
older
there's
games,
that.
your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary. The game's stories are told like chronicles of war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios.
I haven't played Three Houses yet, but
Several
I, like,
characters
a
also
bunch
appear in
of
the Super
friends
Smash
at
Bros.
school,
series, and
at my
6 of
school
the
that
7
have-
can use a counterattack.
so they are
It's their
going
down
to
special.
be so hype. Oh,
There's actually a reason for this.
Oh.
When I was considering how to incorporate Fire Emblem Fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee, I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter.
so that's why I
Next
made
comes
counters.
your turn.
Okay, that's actually pretty neat. I didn't know that.
And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses
Oh, when you
is the
think about it.
17th game in the series.
Never mind. The 17th
People
game
who
in
aren't
the series.
Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many?
Yeah, there are that many.
Well, if you include Fire Emblem Heroes in the remakes, but you don't include the Satellaview game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge. I'll give it a try.
暗黒竜と光の剣、外伝紋章の謎、聖戦の系譜
This is cute.
トラキア776、封印の剣烈火の剣、聖魔の功績、草原の奇跡、暁の女神、心眼黒
You
竜
just
心
flew
眼
me
者
off.
覚醒イフヒーローズエコーズ風化説
There you go, 17.
Oh, that's the thing.
今変な数え方してます
So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right? I was counting in binary.
つまり
I know.
This is
Oh my
0.
God.
Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Okay, now it
And
just
then
feels
you
like
get
they're filling
16.
time.
それに
Add
Yeah,
1
I
and you
really
get
like
17.
that.
Awesome,
I
isn't
think
it?
this is cute. This is cute that he's
You can actually count up to
counting it.
31 on
Explain
one
how to
hand.
count binary, but can you like show
And if you use
gameplay?
both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023.
畳の数を数える目の数を数える
If you've given up counting the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go.
Oh my god.
What is Fire Emblem Three Houses?
I didn't wake up at 5:30.
In Japanese, the male version of the main character is called Byleth, and the female version is called Bileth, but in English they share the same name, Byleth. Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses. Once you've chosen a house, you guide them through their school life, and, well, you end up fighting the other houses. After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile, and try to kill you.
I'm glad that,
To understand the concept of
Three
Fire
Houses
Emblem
getting
Three Houses,
recognition.
I played an early
'Cause that
version
is
of the
a
game before its release.
A-grade Fire Emblem game. But
I've done
like,
the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example,
I can't imagine this is gonna boat over well
because I couldn't
so
wait
many
until
people are
launch to
gonna
experience it,
piss.
or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter.
Like, why they have to release
I did the
this
same
as
this time,
the
but with there being 3
last
houses
Fire, like,
and
the
multiple
first Fire Pass? Why they have
endings,
to
it was
release
really hard to get a
as the
feel for it.
last one. You were all so
And of
hyped.
course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference.
Stop talking about Breath of the Wild.
The game has multiple routes, and the outcome of each is very different. Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story.
On a rise on the
I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll
I
understand.
swear. Dude. Everyone was so
Before my
hyped when they
demonstration, I should
released
point out
Byleth.
that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase
I'm
video,
happy that they
I
released
mentioned that it
Byleth,
was
but it's
recorded
like,
a
why
month
now
in
of all
advance.
times?
But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November.
Oh, but it's January.
Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version.
That's okay.
As always, I'm using a special in-game camera and such for demonstration purposes. Here I go.
So he's just in dev mode. As part of Challenger Pack. Byleth. I just want to get information about
So,
the
this is our new fighter, Byleth.
other fighter pass.
Sadly, they're lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're distance demon.
Oh no, it's a zoner sortie, no!
The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's relics is a weapon that appears in Fire Emblem Three Houses. They look like bones, and there's a reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs, the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon. They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down tilt attacks, where it takes the form of a whip. They also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves. For their up smash attack, they'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air. For their up air attack, they'll wave the whip sword overhead. The hit detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time.
I can't wait for people to
The
follow
up
me.
special move is really something. The sword extends like this,
Ooh.
allowing you to do things like this.
Oh, ooh.
It was
That's
pretty
interesting.
terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack.
This doesn't.
And in
this
addition,
spikes. Oh, it spikes.
you can do awful things like this. That said, you'll launch opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage.
It's gonna be hype.
Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges.
So it's a tether.
So that's the up special.
Okay. That's
Now,
interesting.
for the sideways inputs. This is Erdvar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology. First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks.
Oh.
As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so. Marth's air attack keeps opponents in check too, right? If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it.
Okay, that is a
Next,
You
the
are
side smash
forward,
attack.
then.
This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here. Also, if you add an upward tilt,
Oh
it
my
will be
God.
stronger.
That's not okay.
And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them.
Oh my God.
By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful.
Of course.
The shaft part is weaker, so it's not suited to close combat. It won't deal much damage,
He's
and
a
it won't launch
zoner.
opponents
Oh,
far.
no.
That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward, or downward in this case. Next, the side special move. Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this
No, you
distance,
hit it from
it'll still
there.
hit.
Oh.
Actually, you can do a smash attack to charge forward a little, like this.
Wait, so you can cancel forward smash into
But as you'd
side B.
expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful.
Oh, and it doesn't do shield damage.
Use it in midair and you'll carve up a large area. Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well, although you'll be vulnerable when you land.
So you can cancel it?
Now, for the downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe called Emir. It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong.
19.
You can try for a meteor effect with this attack.
Okay, of course.
Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power.
But it's slow.
And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating
Oh,
strike.
so that's downbeat.
It's a bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch,
So
but
it's
here's what
downbeat
makes it
attachment,
different.
man. Okay.
When readying the move, there's a super armor effect,
Oh, landed as armor. Oh no.
which allows you to withstand an attack. Just so you know, if you execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time, it plays out like this. It's a bit slower than the Falcon Punch, but due to the super armor effect, you have the
that's not
advantage,
gonna be good.
unless you get grabbed. Another notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms.
Oh, what?
While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower area.
I don't know if that's gonna
It won't
be
let you jump, but you could use it as a surprise attack.
game changing. But
Also, you can turn around during the move. The swing takes a while, so if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction.
oh. Oh, so it's just
Even though it can
Falcon
be
Punch,
hard
like,
to land a hit with this move,
actually, like,
it
when
can
you
be
turn
really
around, it's
effective
good.
when used against a group of opponents.
So it just Falcon Punch with the
Plus,
better
even if you
turnaround,
fail
but
to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little.
And it has a shockwave hitbox. Okay.
It's as if the quaking of the ground launches them. By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters. It hits with that much power in a single attack. Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily
have-
anticipated
okay.
attacks like this could just get you hit by
We know
counter
how
after
ours work.
counter.
Yep.
Next, we have the neutral moves. The bow you use is called Failnaught, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few neutral moves. You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him. It lets you spin the
that's
weapon
not-
around.
Oh no, it's like a nair.
It's
That
also
looks
easy to create certain
alright.
combos with it.
Focusing drag down. Yeah, okay. But the range.
And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow. First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed.
So
It's
it
also
has
very
to,
powerful. That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button.
You can't fire a weak arrow.
You can
and
also
it's
change direction while in the
stronger than
stance.
And you can change.
It works up until this point, but if you keep
This
holding the
character seems
button,
like he's just gonna be.
you'll
He's not
unleash
that heavy, or
a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light.
oh.
You can perform this move by keeping the button held down. You charge up power like so, charge a bit more, and then fire.
30.
But
okay.
again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it, not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible.
bench. Quarter bench.
Once you've entered the stance, you won't be able to do anything. Which means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move with a reflector effect. But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven.
What is that
This
name?
is an enhanced version.
What is that name for a final smash? Oh my god.
As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sothis and launch an attack together.
ソティスが誰であるのか何なのかというのは原作で確認してみていただければと思います。
Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female.
They're just, okay, they're stonks.
However, the third, fourth, and fifth colors are, as you can see, reminiscent of the house
That
leaders.
hurts. That
Those
hurts
of you
a
who
bit.
played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to. The sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier.
Oh, that's ooh.
And
oh,
the
no,
seventh
you got
and
that.
eighth
That's-
variations
geez,
have a
here we-
different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story. Didn't we see this variation in the final smash?
まあこれは原作でもということで。
You kind of already spoiled the game, so. Garrig Mock Monster. Okay.
Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Garrig Mock Monastery. This is how Garrig Mock Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral all in one stage. It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these four.
Okay.
Let me introduce each of the guests that appear in these four areas. The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping.
Yeah.
The guests that appear here are students of the Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say.
Dude.
They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you could say Dimitri's the future king. He had quite a difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one.
Why would you say that?
There are vendors on either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but here you can break them, you see. If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right. I wonder where people will buy their supplies now. And in the background, you can see the gatekeeper. You often pass through this area in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you end up talking to him a lot. Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop,
Oh, we just break through the scene.
you'll come crashing back down. We've broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building. And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adrestian Empire, and as such, they embrace their military might. Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals. You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage. It's possible to knock them down.
That's neat.
However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters though. So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go, I made it. And you can knock it down. Also, you can break this table. Like so.
Also, you can just break this table.
Just like the sign that reads Furin Kazan in the Suzaku Castle stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range. Next up, the bridge. The camera rotates 90 degrees, creating this long area. It's very wide indeed.
It's Claude. That's not...
It's similar to the bridge of Elden stage. The guests are from the Golden Deer, Claude, Hilda, and Lawrence.
Oh, the guy with
They
the
belong
worst
to the
haircut,
Leicester
yeah.
Alliance.
There's a guy in the background.
Because it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide assortment of members. And Claude is the sharpest of the bunch. Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap. The naming process must be tough. Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training. As for the bridge's design, it's just a long pathway, plain and simple. You can expect plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen. You could also say it's a place where the fail knot really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the Golden Deer perfectly. The last area is the cathedral, only with some platforms you can pass through. The guests appearing in the cathedral are Sedith, Flayn, and Rhea. There's Sedith, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flayn. She seems to be under the protection of him and Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem Three Houses. All three have character quirks related to their true identities. I feel that Flayn might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, can you stop spoiling?
This is a simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms. Being the last area, it may be a place where some intense battles will be waged. It'll cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes.
Each location lasts 2.5 minutes. Okay.
Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages. That'll give us precisely 5 players per side.
Female Byleth, let's go.
Alright, here we go, Joker. Joker! And Hero!
Dude, this enough.
Gee, we really made a lot, huh? Banjo!
This,
By now, I think you know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the Professor
I
here.
like how,
But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on.
Soccer, I said that. Here, Joker.
It's not going to land that easily.
It's fine.
Uh-oh, this is bad.
What do you mean?
Fennekin. I better keep my distance. I'll use this chance to attack. Got him. That's scary. He's invincible for a moment here. Lots of explosives. Ouch. He perfect shielded that, huh? Good one. If I do this, or like so, No anti-air, huh? There, the soccer ball connected. Good, there's Mom.
Oh good, there's Mom.
You're in a good spot, Mom. Ah, I shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir. Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not.
Yeah. My man just dash attacked 3 times. Let's go.
I feel like the enemy might get this Smash Ball. See? They got it. But I mustn't give up.
Oh. Wait,
I
what
can't
broke
waste
his
a
shield?
chance.
Wait, what was the thing that broke his shield?
There's another Smash Ball. Yes, got it. Now! What are you charging up
What the
for?
fuck broke his was that his was that back air? I'm gonna look at that again. Holy
There's still more. Whack!
Oh.
Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine. Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him! I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game. It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end.
No.
Now, about the additional music. Since it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages. There are already a lot of Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added. This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English. I hope you'll enjoy these as well. We're also adding in a new spirit board. It includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters. Sothis is Legend class. Also, there's a new classic mode route, a Heroic Legacy, which is designed to let you enjoy classic Fire Emblem stages from throughout the series' history.
Got like 3 minutes left.
The final battle is against Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that.
Oh, what? Something amusing happens.
Now for the Mii Fighter costumes. Please take a look.
Oh, Mii Fighter. Okay, pour one out. We're pouring one out, boys. Pouring out for all the ones that didn't make it. Please don't be anyone. I know. Oh, Fi. It's Fi. Never mind. Assassin's Creed? Wait, what? Is that the Assassin's Creed guy? Oh my god. Why? No! Rabbids, no! Rabbids and Smash! No! Oh my god. Mega Man X is gonna be... Oh, it's just ends right there. Okay, whatever. Battle Network? God, no! 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 Oh my... Are you kidding me? Oh my god. No! Cuphead didn't make it! No! Bye. No! I wanted him as a character. Oh my god. No, Cuphead. Fuck.
はい、
I'm upset.
今回新
This
しく
time, we're releasing a Cuphead costume.
Shut up.
And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added. It's called Floral Fury, and it's the theme that plays when
Are
fighting
you kidding me?
Cagney
This isn't
Carnation.
even the best song.
I hope you enjoyed these
I'm
as
not
well.
paying for that.
After purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it.
You know they had to like custom make that screen
And now, onto the amiibo.
because there were so many fucking Peter Griffins on there.
The color palette for
I don't
Dark
care
Samus
about
looks
the
pretty good,
amiibo
doesn't it?
Anymore.
Dark Samus and Richter are planned for release on Friday, January 17th.
Upset now. Okay. Can you
は
like
い、
announce
そし
something
て
about
今
it?
回
And now, with the addition of Byleth, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete. The lineup was Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and
Byleth
Byleth.
is just like trailing off in the side there. No one cares.
From more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there? When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play.
Oh, Byleth just died.
As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line. I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well, have a look.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh shit. More fighters in development. Okay. What's the stage? Oh. Oh, okay, 6 more fighters. That's it. That's it, folks.
Looks like there will be 1 more fighter than last time.
That's it, no more.
For this
no more,
reason,
folks,
we will
go
be
away.
releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It will be available for pre-purchase on the date shown,
Volume
so
2.
please keep an eye out.
Boo-boo. Okay,
And now that it's
characters.
official, we intend to
6 more
move ahead with
characters. Haven't got a
development.
chance.
Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed. Like last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchase it.
Of course I
Furthermore,
would.
the new
This is-
additions have
this
already
is
been
my
decided.
favorite game, other than
Even if I
Celeste.
receive many requests regarding potential candidates
the
on Twitter,
content- the
I'm
content's
afraid it would be
already been
very hard to
decided.
consider them.
Okay. So
But I still
there's,
hope you'll look
like,
forward to it.
nothing. We can't cry anymore. This is it.
We're also including a bonus with Fighters
Oh, there's a
Pass Volume
bonus.
2. Last time, it was a Rex costume. But this time, here's what we have.
Oh. Okay. Wasn't this already here? Oh.
It's a Mii Fighter costume for Mii Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Oh, that was a sick combo. Lastly,
It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest selling fighting game in the
okay.
world. Personally, I don't know if it counts as simply a fighting game,
okay,
but I guess
bro,
it's seen
just
as
take
a
the
fighting
thing,
game around
just
the
take
world.
The award.
Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if that's been accounted for.
Recognition.
Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 1.
Okay.
Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game.
Dude. I mean, yeah.
I feel like it's become more than a fighting game, some sort of celebration of gaming or something else entirely. Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters. The first Fighters Pass just wrapped up, but it was decided that there will be more DLC.
休みは
which
な
means
さそうだな
no breaks for
と
me.
思っています
Oh no.
I plan to keep working hard, so I hope you can continue to support us.
Take a break, man. Work
That's
on-
it.
お疲れ様
Thank
で
you.
Oh, an uprising remake. Okay. Footage shown is still under development. Okay. Thanks for watching.